Okay, good evening, everyone. On this really hot day in Bloomington, I'm going to go ahead and call to order the meeting of the Committee of the Whole of the City of Bloomington Council. And if Madam Clerk could please call the roll.
Councilmember Kearns,
Here.
Councilmember Bolin,
Here.
Councilmember Motney,
Here.
Councilmember Dannenberger,
Here.
Councilmember Becker,
Here.
Councilmember Hendricks. Wonder why.
There we go, here.
Councilmember Ward.
Here.
Councilmember Lee,
Here.
Councilmember Crumpler,
Here.
Mayor Millawample.
Here. We're going to move to recognitions, and we have a recognition of firefighter Kyle Cheeseman for completion of the one-year probationary period as requested by the fire department. And I am trying to get up. Okay, so we're just going to go straight to Chief Matheny. Yeah.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, elected officials, City Manager Jurgens. It's always an honor of mine to stand here in front of you and introduce firefighters and paramedics that I work with. Tonight, we're celebrating a milestone with firefighter paramedic Kyle Cheeseman. He started with the fire department June 26, 2023, and he attended the Basic Firefighter Academy up in the Northeastern Public Safety Institute up in Glenville, Illinois. Following graduation that, I think September of last year, he was assigned to B shift at the fire stations, and he completed his rest of his in-house training, which consists of going between every fire station, spending a month there, completing a probationary task manual that has all the different tasks and jobs and essential job functions that we expect our firefighters to complete. He ended his probationary period on June 26th of this year, so we're a couple of weeks behind. But prior to that completion time, I always have my battalion chief send out and get feedback from his officers, that the guys that have been supervising him over this last year, and getting feedback from him. So through that time, I just want to share a little bit of feedback that I did receive from him and what his officer said about him. So some of the highlights of those recommendations describe Kyle as being engaged, having an excellent work ethic, demonstrating an eagerness to learn, and showing great attention to detail. I hope you would agree with me. These are outstanding characteristics that we love to see in our firefighters and our paramedics, and I look forward to his dedication and service to the community. A little bit about Kyle and his background. He's a McLean County native. He's born and raised and still resides in Danvers, Illinois. He's joined here with his wife, Ashley, and they were just married here this summer. Also celebrating with us tonight is his parents, Captain Scott Cheeseman and his wife, Erica, back there. His brothers, Cody and Jake, sister-in-law, Jory, and his nephews, Lane and Noah. Kyle holds an associate degree in fire science, is also a certified critical care paramedic. Before joining Bloomington Fire Department, Kyle is a member of several local volunteer fire departments and private ambulance services. He has been involved with fire and EMS for over 6 years and is still an active volunteer with Danvers and Dale Township Fire Departments. His hobbies include hockey. He's one of our Guns N' Hoses hockey players, and I'm glad to have him on our side because he's bigger than I am. And Chief Simonton's not here, so we'll take care of that. Also, besides playing hockey, grilling, smoking meat, and does woodworking. Kyle was drawn to the fire service through his father growing up around the department. He's a second generation firefighter alongside with his brother Cody, and might down the road be his other brother Jake. So once again, I'm just excited and proud to present to you Kyle Cheeseman, formally introduce him to you. I look forward to what his career holds and his dedication and his service to the community and things to come. Congratulations, Kyle.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh, sure. Yeah. Awesome. I didn't have to ask. That's great. Yeah, you can't escape. It's like a highlight for everybody. Yeah, please. Awesome. Congratulations. Appreciate it. We're gonna congratulate you beginning ceremony. Okay, awesome. All right. Maybe in his spare time, he'll join the Bisons. I don't know. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
We received no emailed public comment, but we do have two people to speak after you read your statement. The first will be Serena Fish and then to follow Patrick Whitaker.
Okay, awesome. Public comment is an opportunity for speakers to provide their views and feedback to the city council. It is also an opportunity for the city council to listen and hear diverse points of view. To maximize the impact of public comment and show respect for the expression of all views, speakers should maintain civility and focus on city issues. Speakers must identify themselves for the record, but are not required to give their address. Each speaker is given the floor for 3 minutes, and the council does not respond or engage in debate. Any speaker that engages in threatening or disorderly behavior will be deemed out of order and their time seized.
Thank you. My name is Serena Fish. I have been up here numerous times in the past year when this problem started. The tent city, the vagrants, the drugs was all down in the western part of town. We reached out for help. We really got nothing back from local council people. I've warned you over and over, it's coming. Well, I don't know if any of you are aware, but downtown is having a major problem right now. And I don't know if you're getting the information, if you're getting, it's beyond bad. People are walking into restaurants and taking food. There are bodies laying on the ground. There are people nude, changing clothes in an alley. There's theft, there's yelling, there's screaming. Their downtown association people are telling the other owners down there to carry pepper spray to protect themselves because it's not safe to walk to the parking deck. I don't know what you people are doing. I've reached out. I have been over and over and over, and now it's spread all the way through downtown. And if you don't do something, I've reached out to Mr. Jurgens. We've had downtown meetings. Something needs to be done, and it needs to be done now because people are losing business. People aren't coming back. And they're actually starting to be afraid to come downtown. So again, please clean your house before you decide to go on and do streetscape, before you decide to go on and do a whole TIF thing. There are major problems. All you have to do is go downtown and walk the street, and you will run into it. Thank you for your time. I did it.
Thank you.
Last up, we have Patrick Whitaker.
Hello, I am Patrick Whitaker. I am the owner and operator of Shake It Up Cocktail Lounge and Eatery, right over here on Front Street. I opened this business with my wife. I understood what a risky business opening a bar and restaurant is. It's probably the riskiest you can do. But I knew the risk, and my passion and my drive outweighed that risk because I know that I can do it well, and I am doing it well. We have consistently been trending upwards with return customers, providing jobs for locals, and a performance space for all local artists. Although we're improving, it's still very, very difficult market to get into, especially in Bloomington, which is oversaturated with restaurants and bars. We could still use help. That help could come from gaming. We have done our due diligence to get gaming, as recognized by the state and city alike. As the state has granted us our license and we were put on the waiting list to get gaming. Due to an arbitrary number, we're not allowed to have them. So essentially, we're given a gold star from the city, which really does nothing for us. It almost makes us look at other bars and restaurants and places that have gaming, which are owned by other local people, and hoping that they fail so that license could be available to us. That's not how I operate. Lulu's Pizza on Clinton, Washington was immediately granted gaming. The new Quick Trip, which is going out on Market Street, will immediately be allowed gaming. Quick Trip did $2 billion in revenue last year. Scott Zitlow, the CEO of Quick Trip, is not struggling. I can't imagine that Scott Zitlow came in here and looked at you all in the eyes and said how much this would truly help himself, his family, and the community. Also, they'll have gaming for 24 hours. The other thing these two have in common is it's not local. This is the face of a local small business owner saying how much this would help myself and my family and other small local business owners. Although in the city's eyes, the monetary value is not that high, but in my eyes, it is a game changer. All I ask is this: stay true to the beliefs that Bloomington stands for. Support local, buy local, and try to help your neighbor when you can. This is your opportunity to do just that. Look out for one of us, for all of us as a community. It would mean a world of difference to so many local people and local business owners who are trying to keep the downtown experience alive. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Boland. Okay, second by Councilmember Hendricks.
I'm just gonna call it since
call
it's
it,
the one
okay.
thing. Councilmember Kearns,
Yes.
Councilmember Boland,
Yes.
Councilmember Motney,
Yes.
Councilmember Dannenberger,
Yes.
Councilmember Becker,
Yes.
Councilmember Hendrick.
Yes.
Councilmember Ward.
Aye.
Councilmember Lee,
Yes.
Councilmember Crumpler.
Yes.
Okay, so the consent agenda passes, no nays to announce, and we're going to move on to the regular agenda, which is a presentation and discussion on the use of project labor agreements as requested by the administration department. I know this has been a long time coming, so I know staff worked pretty hard on this, so want to appreciate you bringing something for us to consider and discuss. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to City Manager Jurgens.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. About a year ago, when the Coachman redevelopment project was being considered, this council heard some concern from local unions and laborers about trying to include some sort of a PLA or prevailing wage within those provisions. That development agreement was approved without that language, but direction to staff essentially to get with the unions and try and work something out so there was a clearer path moving forward and when we had future redevelopment agreements. Those conversations started after that redevelopment agreement was approved. They've continued. And then when I assumed this role, met with the local labor unions and started working on it some more. So tonight, what we're bringing you is what we believe is a fair compromise and really addresses everybody's concerns and everybody's issues. In the past, when it used to be the law that we had to adopt a prevailing wage ordinance every year, we would include language in that ordinance that for public work projects in excess of $100,000, $100,000, you had to have an apprenticeship program in place. In working with the unions, what we've talked about is following a model that the city of Springfield adopted about a year ago. That would put in place a requirement that there be a project labor agreement that includes apprenticeship, prevailing wage, those types of issues for projects of 50,000 or more, public work projects of 50,000 or more. So we took the language from that Springfield ordinance. We basically, turned it over into a potential ordinance for us. The only tweak to that language is clarifying that it's got to be an active apprenticeship program. And so that's the only change, I believe, from the Springfield ordinance. But this would essentially kind of bring us back a little bit to what we used to do with the apprenticeship language when we used to adopt an annual prevailing wage ordinance. This would actually put this in the code. We would have clear requirements. This does not apply to private redevelopment agreements. So the one thing that when we were talking about before was for a potential TIF or a project like that, unless it's got other money coming from the city, so from the general fund or something like that, this language would not apply to that. So this will give clear direction to the developers that are wanting to do a project that, this language will not apply to them, but it will apply to our other public works projects in excess of $50,000. So I appreciate the work with the unions as they've helped us craft this and help us come up with what this language is tonight. I think this is something that the unions are supportive of, talking to some private developers they're supportive of. And so wanted to bring this forward to the council so that it can begin discussion and consideration of it as well. Happy to answer any questions. And I know there are some representatives from the laborers here that I'm sure would speak to this as well if it was so desired by the council. Thank you.
Are there any questions? And this is just a presentation today and discussion, so. Councilmember Crumpler?
Thank you, Mayor. I am so glad to see this come forward. I support this ordinance. I think it will benefit families, our union families and our community as a whole. And I want to specifically thank city staff and our union leadership for crafting this ordinance. I think it's about time.
Councilmember Hendricks?
Yeah, I would just follow up with that as well. As it's been said here tonight, this has been kind of a long time coming, and I really appreciate city staff and Manager Jurgens for taking this on after former Manager Gleason, reassured many of us on the council that this was something that he would be working on for us. I fully support it as well. I think it really speaks to a commitment from the city of supporting local workers that are well-trained, union jobs. The other thing that I really appreciate is the language related to a goal of 25% for minorities, women, economically disadvantaged individuals. That's something that we should be striving for and something that I know that we try to do as an inclusive city. So no questions from me, just thrilled to see it here tonight.
Oh, Councilmember Boland?
Thank you, Mayor. I already notified Jeff that I have some tweaks. It's very, very minor. On the project labor agreements that shall not be required for contracts for private development. Could the word any or a reference be made regarding incentives? Because I think with the coachman, that's where the concern was. I don't know if it's necessary, but I just wanted to, bring that forward. And the other thing is in B, where it says the city may reserve the right to approve. Every other paragraph has the word shall. So shall means different than may, so maybe that could be included there. And then it says reserve the right to approve. I would like to see added or deny, approve or deny.
Is that in B still?
It's still in B, yes. Because that has to do with the city council waiving. I just want to kind of make it clear what the parameters are for waiving some of this. And in the Springfield ordinance on E2. It was a little bit more robust, and we have it stated as a statement that such union has active joint labor agreement. They, of course, use the word robust, but I would like to have the word evidence instead of statement, because the city is requested to put forward written, what is it? Supported by written publicly disclosed finding by the city if we want to waive something. And then in E4, instead of information, I would like to see documentation as the word.
Thanks, council member, and I can certainly go back and have those conversations and we can look and see how that, what language we might be able to modify
Okay, thank you.
and or address the questions that you've raised based on that, those
Okay.
language changes.
Others? Okay. Doesn't look like we have anything else. So next steps, next meeting or?
Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll bring something forward for the council to consider at the next meeting. So appreciate everybody's time to take a look at this and provide your feedback.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to item 6B, a presentation on Bloomington Normal Area Convention and Visitors Bureau as requested by the Administration Department. And I'm going to turn it over to City Manager Jurgens, and we have while Crystal makes her way.
Thank you very much, Mayor and council again. Wanted to provide the council with a quick update. Had recent meetings with Crystal Howard, who serves as the Executive Director for the Bloomington Normal Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. And they're doing a lot of exciting things. I think it's been quite a while since we've had a presentation from them. She recently offered to provide us with some updates and some information, so I thought this would be a good time to do that. And with that, Crystal, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, and good evening, Mayor Molambe and council members and City Manager Jurgens. I appreciate getting the opportunity to share with you the work of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and it's my hope that you're going to be pleased with the investment that you have given the CVB. The CVB stimulates the local visitor economy, and our office is the liaison between the visitors and the facilities that host them. Next. We act as an information center, a convention and sports management consultant, and a promotion agency. I did send an annual report out last spring to you. I hope you all got this. If you didn't and you'd like one, I brought some with me. But I wanted to point out that and thank the members that did come out for the ribbon cutting for the new monument that we had. So thank you for that. We have 9 board members. Next, we have 9 board members, and the city of Bloomington has 5 seats. The town of Normal has 4. We are pleased that Councilmember Tom Crumpler is actually on our board and has given significant direction to our board. But our purpose is basically to grow the visitor economy. That's why you want us there. Our office markets through advertising, sales calls. We market through social media, networking to bring visitors in. Visitors are attracted, they spend money. And when they spend money, there's associated taxes with those funds. We are very pleased that the city, the town, and the state provide us with a portion of that hotel tax. And you could, next, please. Here's what we did in hotel room nights. In this past year, we had 34,791 hotel rooms booked by our office. That doesn't include what our hoteliers are doing. That is just booked by our office. That means when we're out making sales calls and when we're doing things and the activities that we're doing. And basically, that was an economic impact of over $7 million. We did receive from the city of Bloomington and the town of Normal $545,000, and from the state of Illinois $600,000. That is matched money. You give us money and then we go to the state and apply for funds and they match it. And so that's kind of how that works. But I wanted to show you a little graphic of how that money is, how we are funded and where the expenses are going, which is mainly marketing, and a return on the investment so that you could see that. Next. We do promote groups as well as individuals. And here you're seeing how many groups and the attendance at those meetings and events. We had 67,000 attending some of our meetings and conventions and over 122,000 in our sporting events. We do partner with a lot of our area events, and I'm going to show you that a little bit later. But those 77,000 visitors, we helped contribute with our funding to those events, and the sponsorships had over 120,000 visitors. So the money that you're giving to us, we are in turn giving it out so we can bring in more visitors. Next. Last year, the state of Illinois was very generous with funding. They gave us over $400,000 to promote Route 66. As you know, the Route 66 Centennial is coming up, and we basically used that money to go out to our Route 66 communities in McLean County and came up with some campaigns that we could use the money for. And what you're seeing are the monuments that I spoke about earlier. We have one up in Chenoa. We have one in Bloomington. We have one in Normal. We have one in Lexington and McLean. So everybody got involved in that, which was fun. And our office could not do this without the partnerships with the communities as well as the city staff, the town staff, because their people are the ones that installed this. They're people that know how to do this. I can go out and get the money. I can do the fun stuff and make sure that the colors are right and it looks graphically, you know, pleasing for a visitor, but they're the ones that did the hard work. So I give them credit for that. Next. And the new thing that I would really like to show you are the new murals, and maybe you've seen them, but the murals are, again, we went out to our Route 66 communities because CVBs were the only people that could apply for these funds. And so we had to work with our communities to find out how we could meet the criteria for those funds. And this is one of the ways we did it with murals. So the first one you see up in the corner is the McLean, it's the Cruising with Lincoln on 66 Visitor Center. If you haven't been in there lately, it's right as you go in the entrance. And it's a very nice mural done by a local artist, Troy Freeman. I don't know if you know that name, but he has done all of these murals. And I have to tell you, by the time I got the grant, he did not have a lot of time to do this. So he did this within 6 months, pretty much. He did the inside ones first, which would have been the Visitors Center. And then he did the one in Lexington first. And then he moved on to McLean County or McLean, Illinois, and did it on a grain bin. And so what you're seeing there is an actual grain bin in downtown McLean. But the one that is downtown Bloomington is at the Red Raccoon Games. And if you've seen it, you probably have enjoyed it, but it is going to be huge. And the nice thing about that mural, which is very pleasing, but they are going to put a screen on that mural where the white looks like a screen. And they're going to, well, they're probably going to come to you at some point, but they want to show movies in the evening. And so they're going to put up a screen. I think they partnered with the Bloomington Normal Sunrise Rotary to do that. And they're actually going to put a screen and show movies. Hopefully that'll happen this summer, maybe, or for sure next summer. Next. We work and have a great relationship with the Illinois Office of Tourism. And this year they partnered with Rivian Automotive to, again, back to Route 66. They are traveling Route 66 and they're actually filming a spot, and they're actually filming and showcasing the Illinois-made attractions. They have a program that's going to be called Real People, Real Stories, Real Outdoor, and they're doing videos. They are going to be out internationally as well as locally and within the state. They chose Epiphany Farms. We have a great relationship with them. Epiphany Farms has been great. They've offered to do seminars at the governor's conference. So when that relationship building gets going, it really is, it evolves into this. So their marketing agency bought that Rivian and they wrapped it with the Route 66 new Centennial logo, and they're traveling Route 66. So that was kind of fun. Next. As I was referring to earlier, we do have a couple of programs that help fund our events in town. And if you'll notice, you can see all of the events up there that have a portion of our funds. Again, we have criteria that they have to meet. They apply for the money, and then our board approves it. And they basically get funding to help, again, promote their events so that they can bring visitors in. And we did a great job with the art trail. They're also going to be doing something new with a passport. So look forward to that. Look for that in the next, I'd say, week or so, when they're going to be promoting that. But it's going to be a passport on art galleries and trying to promote that. But you can see the list there of all the people that we have been able to help. And this is open to anybody that actually has an event that is going to bring in visitors. And our criteria is just that, bring visitors in. Next. So here you can see some of the visibility that we have out in the area. We actually do we do a lot of reels, but here you're seeing our social media and e-blast that we do weekly. So if you want to know what's going on in town, we have an e-blast called What's Happening in Bloomington Normal. And that goes out every Wednesday, so everybody would know that. How do we know what's going on? We are encouraging people to get on our website and post their events so that we can help promote them. It's a little bit of help us help promote you, and we do make an effort to do that. We also, next. We also did a few reels in our social media advertising, and I'd like just to share with you a couple of those. And to showcase our arena. So those are fun reels that are out there in social media and advertising just to share what we really are here in Bloomington Normal. And next. Oh. Now I'm going to
He
get in
liked
trouble.
it so much, he wanted to replay it.
Now I'm going to get in trouble. Maybe not after I tell you what's happening. We actually did what we call a familiarization tour, and we invited meeting planners and sports event organizers into the area to look at what we have to offer in our premier hotels. We shared cocktails and hors d'oeuvres with them at the Doubletree Hotel, put them on a shuttle, and then went down to the Marriott for dinner, where our mayor was gracious enough to greet this group. And not only did he greet the group and mingle with them, he went to the concert with them. And so I share that because that was a great picture at the concert, and he got to see firsthand what we do and Tailgates and Tallboys, what the concert's all about. Next. Oh, a little reel on that. I also want to share with you that after that event, it just so happens that Craig Anderson, the head of IHSA, signed a 5-year basketball contract with us. So I don't know if you had anything to do with that, but I just wanted to say. So this is basically some of the goals that we accomplished. We did have a visitor guide, a new visitor guide. And if you have seen this, I hope you've seen this. If not, I have some extras here for you to take with you. And we also have a meeting planning guide that we share. Again, I have a couple extras here if you'd like to see them, but just information for meeting planners. We have this on our website, but when we're making presentations, we take that out with us to showcase that. Next. We have a sports commission that basically is put in place to create events. State Farm Youth Classic, you may have heard of, was created by our sports commission when Midwest Nationals was created by our sports commission. And we have 66 games. And this year they're going to be working on a pickleball tournament. So look forward to that. Next. Okay, hold on just a second. So I just wanted to say that our collaboration with many of the city departments here has made our work possible. We are fortunate to have worked with most of the city departments, economic and community development, the arts and entertainment, facilities, parks and recreation, the police, fire, finance, administration, you name it. Our office has worked with them and they've been very supportive in our efforts. And I just wanted to thank you for that support. And we look forward to continuing that great working relationship. And I want to leave you with our video.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Crystal. Again, I want to thank you for coming here, but also for all the work that you do. And I know you have a relatively small team, but yet, you were able to accomplish quite a bit. The familiarization tour was very interesting for me to see, and how you get the work done and working with various groups and trying to get them here. I really wanted to see the Tailgate and Tall Boys because I had never been there. And the level of organization was amazing for so many people, but yet, everything, to my knowledge, worked out really well and no incidents or anything like that. And a lot of people having a good time. It was really, it was nice to see, to be able to kind of visualize how this all comes together. So really want to thank you for the work that you do. I know it takes a lot, to make it happen. But it was wonderful. And again, I also want to mention that the staff, the work that you do with the staff, the collaboration is amazing. And seeing that our arts and entertainment division is, soaring to greater heights every day, I think the future is looking really bright, for that collaboration. So thank you very much. And with that, I want to give council members a chance to say anything if they'd like. Okay, good job.
Call me if you have any questions. Your
Yes.
input would be invaluable.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Mhm.
With that, we're going to move on to the city manager's discussion. And Mr. Jurgens?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. If we could go to the next slide, start with an update on the homelessness issue that we're trying to address in the community. I did want to provide the community with the update that the city has given notice to the individuals on the Constitution Trail that they need to vacate that location. I do anticipate that we'll have it cleared and cleaned up within the next couple of days. So again, by the end of the week, but hopefully within the next couple of days, we have that area cleaned and opened back up. Also wanted to say that at work, we had a meeting with the Homeless Coalition. Again, this is kind of a coalition of local government bodies, sub-bodies, nonprofits, service providers. We had a meeting on Friday afternoon. One of the some of the information that they shared that I wanted to share with the council and with the community, they have some new street outreach individuals. Their current count is about 100 people that are unhoused in our community. So that's 100 people that are not living in a car, not living doubled up in an apartment somewhere, but actually 100 people living on the street. So that helps give us a little bit of a context as to the nature of the issue here in our community. Again, we're working hard. We need more shelter space. We're working hard to identify that and to help get some additional resources online. Just want to say how much I appreciate the service providers coming together and working on those issues with us to help address these issues. Some concern was raised about the downtown and appreciate that. Today worked with several individuals. The police department is going to increase some patrols in the downtown area, try and work to get that addressed. We're also working with our local or our downtown development specialists and our employees to get a better handle on what exactly the issues are, where they're occurring, and so that we can get those addressed in a timely manner. So we certainly do take those serious, and we want to make sure we get that addressed as well. So appreciate those concerns. Met today with a couple downtown business owners, and I'll continue reaching out and meeting with those individuals as well. So do appreciate and do want to get that addressed. Next slide. Wanted to take a minute to just say thank you to our city staff who worked on the storm damage from last night. I actually slept through it somehow, but while I was sleeping, come to find out that, we had people, staff up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. that were actually out in the field working on these issues. We had about 40 city trees down on various streets. As you can see in some of the pictures, cars, a couple of houses were damaged. But our crews were out early and clearing all of this up. We had inspectors that were out, parks crews, public works crews. So I want to just say thank you to all of those individuals that were out last night and early this morning, clearing things to make our community safer. Next slide. Wanted to share an update on the library. Some exciting things to share here. In the month of June, every day in the month of June, they had over 100 people coming into the library every hour. So 100 people every hour in the month of June. Their busiest day was June 19th, where they had over 1,400 people through the library that day. They are back to not only pre-COVID numbers, but they're exceeding pre-COVID numbers. So they're very excited about this. They will have a it's substantially complete right now, so every portion of it's open. They're still finalizing some punch list items, but there'll be a formal ribbon cutting on August 1st at 11:30 a.m. That's a Thursday. They'll have another more family-friendly event on the following Saturday, where they'll have different activities for kids and a lot of different things going on with the library. So just wanted to point that out to the council and the community. Next slide. Also wanted to share that our police department, this is the second year that they've done this camp, and they do it in conjunction with the fire department and with with McLean County, some of their law enforcement as well. But they have a successful camp that they put on this summer. Last week they had 27, I think they're junior high students that participated. This help fulfills one of the PD's strategic goals in helping them connect with youth over the summer. But they get to experience a lot of different things and really most importantly from the law enforcement side, they get to connect with some of the kids within the community. So wanted to share that as well. Next slide. This is a picture that I just thought was fantastic. This was the downtown concert on Saturday night, a huge crowd. This followed, and I think this was emo and punk pop. Emo and pop punk. I won't pretend to know what that is, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it. That's all that matters. So a great crowd at the downtown this last weekend, and it followed what I was told. I didn't get to Saturday's farmer's market, but was told it was just a huge turnout for the farmer's market. Also, the laborers put on a labor union fair as well. So just a lot of activity this last weekend, a lot of great turnout, and so a lot of exciting things that I wanted to share. And then last slide. So for anybody that's a fan of hockey, maybe you'll recognize this, but this is the Carolina Hurricanes. In May, the Bloomington Bison announced that their affiliate was going to be the New York Rangers. That's who they're formally affiliated with. But either today or tomorrow, they are announcing they will also have a working agreement with the Carolina Hurricanes. So we will not have just one, but two professional hockey teams that are associated with the city of Bloomington. This means that they will have hockey players coming and going, not only from the New York Rangers, but also the Carolina Hurricanes. Really excited about this. This is, I think, just more proof that this is the real deal. We are getting real hockey here in Bloomington, and everybody is really excited about it. So wanted to share that with the council and the community. More to come on that, but certainly an exciting development that we're happy to announce tonight. And that's all I have.
Okay, well, awesome. That's great news. We could go into an executive session, but that would ruin it, right? Okay, all right. So is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Councilmember Ward,
Second.
second by Councilmember Bolin. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. See you next Monday.